What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Phaithful Phanatics Show. We are live here, as always, on the DSM-Media Twitter channel, as well as the DSM Philly YouTube channel. So, guys, do yourself a favor, do us a favor. Make sure to check us out on Twitter at DSM_media is where you can find us. Hit that follow button, and then check out the link tree in our bio. It will take you to every social media platform we are available on: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. But most importantly, the YouTube link that you see on your screen, the comment you see pulled up on your screen right now, make sure to check out that link. Subscribe. It is the best and only spot to get your thoughts, comments, and questions pulled up here on the screen and be interactive with us. I'm one half your host, Dylan Davis. To my left today, my faithful co-host, Scotty. The Eagles win a rock fight in Lambeau 10-7 on Monday Night Football. Jalen Phillips, welcome to the city of Philadelphia. AJ Brown sounds off on a Twitch live stream last night. We got those comments to talk about. And where were you when Justin Edwards saved the day against the Boston Celtics? We got a lot of Sixers action to get into, a lot of Eagles talk to get into. My brother, happy Wednesday, and what is going on?
Let me get off mute there. Happy Wednesday, brother. Happy hump day. No, you hit the nail on the head. There's a lot to get into. Kind of to recap this Philadelphia long weekend, depending if you had to work Monday or not. So yeah, we had the holiday yesterday. Got to take a nice little break after that rock fight on Monday night. I love how you put that one out there because that is the best way to describe that shit show. Shit show, right? Like the defenses looked immaculate.
Probably better.
Right? They look like the best defenses of all time on national television, but the offenses. It's not just that it was a rock fight. It's more that both of these offenses look like they had like 3 seatbelts on in the front seat of the car. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like motherfuckers strap both sides and then across the fucking neck just to protect themselves. So conservative. But the Sixers are giving us some positive, give or take, man.
They're giving me positivity, bro. What are you? The Embiid news? You little down?
It's not that big of a deal. We got a little bit of good news about the bad news this morning, saying there's no structural damage, so that's great. I was just kind of joking. Brother.
Where are
you? You know how the Sixers go.
Yes, but yeah, I do, man. Yeah, I do.
I'm interested to see where the commenters are today. TR checking in. If we got Brian Pumper out there, Marshawn Lynch, like where are you at with the Sixers right now? I know there's going to be some.
We don't have to ask that question to one of the viewers, but the other two we can ask that question to. We know where one of them is always going to stand. But it's funny, man, because you said the Sixers are bringing us some positivity, insinuating the fact that the other team isn't. And I think that's interesting because they did win another football game. They are the number 1 seed in the NFC. They're 7-2 now. They continue to defeat really, really good teams, playoff contending teams, championship contending teams. It was as ugly gets. I know one of the famous lines you and I like to throw out there each and every week following a game day, no matter what it looks like, is a win is a win is a win. It doesn't matter how pretty, how ugly, but you do have a point. This was arguably the ugliest Eagles win I've watched in some time, specifically on the offensive side, right? Like the defense was effing phenomenal, which we're going to give a lot of praise to Vic Fangio. Jalen Phillips, like I mentioned in the opening, welcome to the city of brotherly love, because my God, he was all over the place. But there is a dark cloud casted over this team since late last night. And let's start there, man. I hate starting with the negativity. I hate starting with that instead of focusing on the big win in Lambeau. And they got Detroit coming up on Sunday Night Football. I hate that this is here, but he continues to do it. And, it was funny because around halftime during the game, people were kind of tweeting out. People were kind of making jokes, do the Eagles even get back on the plane before AJ Brown sends out a cryptic tweet? Well, yes, they did get back on the plane. In fact, they landed. He didn't send out any cryptic tweets this time, Scotty. Nothing bad to be said.
He actually had a positive post-game interview. Honestly.
Something to say with the reporters. And then he jumps on a Twitch live stream to play Madden with I guess, a popular streamer late last night.
Yeah. A Commanders fan, by the way. Rondo. I believe he's a Commanders fan.
Good stuff.
Popular video game streamer for sure.
Look, like I said, a famous quote that you and I like to say is a win is a win. It doesn't matter how ugly. Another quote I feel like I've used 100 times over the course of this show, over the course of a couple years now, is winning cures all. And I truly believe that, man.
Yeah.
Until AJ Brown. And the sad truth here is I don't know if there's a resolution to this thing.
Yeah.
I don't know that AJ Brown will ever be happy here, will ever be happy anywhere he's playing, unless he is the focal point, unless he's finishing the year with 1,400 yards and 10 touchdowns and his numbers are up and he's making all pros and he's making Pro Bowls. Do not get me wrong. It is ludicrous.
Yeah.
The way that AJ Brown is being utilized in this offense, whether that's
absolutely
Kevin Tulo,
yeah.
Nick Sirianni, Jalen Hurts, himself, a combination of everybody. It is awful. Should be a felony how this dude is being used. He's top three in the game, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I truly believe that the Eagles could three-peat, and unless his numbers are padded, AJ Brown won't be happy. AJ Brown will have something to say because, again, they did win the football game.
Yeah.
And you see Saquon out there, happy as can be. I know Smitty caught the touchdown. He had a bigger day, but Smitty always happy as can be. Our quarterback only focused with winning, but it's this dude week in and week out putting something out to the public. Regardless if it's true or not, you can't be airing out the dirty laundry like this. Bro, we sat here how many times and said, we don't know if we would like Michael Parsons to be a Philadelphia Eagle because of the distraction he can be with the quotes he says and his podcast. And I love AJ Brown. And I just said he's probably top 3 in the game. But is AJ Brown a good of a receiver as Michael Parsons is edge rusher in the National Football League? I don't know. And I think many would tell you probably not.
Question. Yeah, it's a fair question.
I don't want AJ Brown to go anywhere. I want AJ Brown to be happy here. I don't think we win more championships unless AJ Brown is here. Because even with the production as low as it is, his presence on the football field is so huge. And I love Smitty, but you're not winning a championship with Devontae Smith and Jahan Dotson as your 2 options this year.
Yeah, no.
They need him here. But my God, dude, I cannot take much more of whatever it is going on with him week in and week out, airing out the team's dirty fucking laundry when they're winning games.
Yeah.
Sorry. The floor is yours.
You're good, man. You're good. I agree with a lot, if not all of what you said, man. It's a perplexing spot to be in with AJ Brown, such a talented player, and you've seen the writing on the wall since the start of the season, right? And it's frustrating, man. It is. And, you know, towards the beginning of the season, I've kind of fluctuated as the season goes on. Like, do I agree with AJ? Do I feel AJ? And I don't think it's a matter of agreeing or, you know, relating to him right now. It's more of what you said. We're in a spot now where we're trying to lock in on the postseason and get into postseason form and win important football games. And that's what's most important right now, is winning those games to set us up for success come the postseason. And obviously, yes, you want to grow week to week offensively. You want to get better. Yes, they want to do that. It was a step back coming from that Minnesota and those New York matchups before the bye week. You don't love to see that out of the bye. Obviously, we'll get into the actual game at some point. But this is what we have to do when AJ does this. We can't just talk about the game. We have to talk about AJ Brown. Yes. And that's what is just blowing me right now, because if you don't want to be the villain, if you don't want to have like extra mental stress on yourself, then stop putting your business out there for everybody to examine and talk about. And not only that, but you're putting the team's business out there, as you mentioned. And it's just not what this team needs, man. Nobody else on this team operates like that. No. And it's so fucking annoying, man. To go on, let me even say it this way, man, because it's one thing to be at the locker and they're asking you questions from the media. Dog, you went on a fucking like YouTube or Twitch stream with like a fucking video gamer, like a child, man. Like, that's very, very childish. And I want to be clear, man. Like, if it came down to it, to your point that you made towards the end of your rant, I would fire Kevin Patullo before
Yes,
I get rid of
because
AJ Brown.
I
But I
saw the
would fire
tweet you
Kevin
sent me.
Patullo and I would tell AJ Brown, can we keep our mouths shut and just handle this shit in-house like
Right,
grown
because
men?
remember, he said he made comments publicly last year when Kellen Moore was the
Exactly.
OC and he wasn't getting the ball for a
Yeah.
couple of weeks. Dude, 3 weeks ago, the dude caught 2 major touchdowns in Minnesota, had a humongous day. Then he didn't play against New York. This is his first game back since the Minnesota game, and he's got something to say. It's constant, man. And to your point, because I've seen the tweets, yes, it's more on Kevin. It's mostly on Kevin Patullo and or Nick Sirianni. You fire Kevin Patullo a million times over before you make any type of decision about AJ Brown or think about shipping AJ Brown out of here. The problem is it's not about right or wrong, Scotty. He's right. I understand why he's frustrated. I'm just as frustrated as a fan watching him not be involved, watching them not get him the ball. It's the principle of it. You don't throw the business out there like that. You're wearing a C.
This many times as well, man.
Your teammates respect you enough to put that patch on your chest. You're not acting like a leader.
Yeah.
And you haven't acted like a leader in a year and a half or 2+ years. And people said, oh, well, Jalen Hurts ruined him. But the first 2.5 years AJ Brown was here, he was first team. He was an all-pro. He was 1,500 yards, double-digit touchdowns, Pro Bowl type of shit. So I don't want to hear, oh, well, it's the quarterback play. No, man, it's very frustrating because you just can't do what he's doing. And to your point, the annoying part, man, is honestly like it's different because he's clearly frustrated and Joel likes to play it off as he's just joking, he's trolling, like immature, right? Yeah. But if you're going to say this type of shit, bro, just stand on your business then. Because then when he gets asked about these comments or the trade rumors or the unhappiness from reporters, he makes a contradicting statement that he's home and that he loves it here. And he doesn't know where people are getting these thoughts from.
Yeah.
Just stand on your business then.
I even, going into the game, man, I thought it was interesting his response to, the questions around the trade deadline and what came with it and how, he knew that there was a possibility, like you knew that there was a possibility, but the Eagles say there's no chance we're moving you. So like, who is lying here? Somebody's lying, right? Like somebody's lying. And I'm willing to guess it might be AJ Brown because he's the guy that's upset. He's the only one on the team that's acting like this, quite honestly. At this point, there's people that are frustrated with the offense. Smitty expressed frustration in the offense after the game, but he's taking it to another level. Sure. And I think the added layer, man, is the fact that Smitty is having such a great season. He's on pace for 1,200, 1,300 receiving yards, his best year of his career. And I don't disagree with what you said as far as us winning without AJ or lack thereof.
Not just winning football games.
It's without replacing him, no. But you can replace AJ Brown in this offense, and I think Smitty does have a role that can be elevated to number 1 wide receiver. And so what I'm saying, you replace AJ Brown with a wide receiver 2, I think this team can win a Super Bowl. I think they have the pieces in place. I trust their system. But it's not that I want that, man.
No.
But that was the sad part waking up yesterday, Dylan. Is I'm starting to see it, man. I'm starting to fucking see AJ Brown on another team.
Yep.
And it's from both perspectives. It's from the perspective of, if I'm AJ, I want more too. And then on the other side, it's like, oh, well, if I'm AJ, I would shut my mouth or I am going to get moved.
Because in the past, man, it's been like the cryptic tweets, like, oh, they could mean something else, right? He floats that out there. The way he states things to the media, sometimes it's a play on whatever. He's leading you somewhere. This was openly, if I'm on your fantasy team, drop me. This is garbage. How do you think things have been, man? Things have been shitty. Like, this was very direct. And again, you won the football game. And that's what you just said is what hurts me right now, man. Because I love this football team and I want AJ Brown to be here so bad.
Me too.
Guess what, man? Just like in a relationship, someone has to want to be here.
Yeah.
And if this is where it's leading, then we'll see in the offseason. Hopefully it leads us to another Lombardi this year while he's still here.
Yeah.
I guess we could table it, but
it's his dead cap too.
Very infuriating to listen to.
It's going to be hard to trade his debt. Like it's hard to trade him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it is hard to trade him,
And, you know,
especially if
the
he's
last
going
thing
to
I'll
be
say,
this prone.
Scotty, the last thing I'll say, man, I saw a tweet right before we hopped on here. And again, I get where this person's coming from. You know,
Yeah.
AJ has openly, publicly talked about his mental, you know, struggles in the past. So he might be a little more outstated with certain things when he's feeling a certain way. So I get that.
Sure.
And basically the tweet was that, I think it was from Chris Infante. He tweeted, you know, AJ's going through what we all go through in the workplace when we're frustrated in the workplace. See, but the problem is, you wouldn't trash talk your employer or your coworkers or your company in front of everybody and in front of your company or your coworkers. You might express your frustrations in your home to your family. I might text you. You might text me as friends. What's going on at work? This is why I'm pissed off. You're not at a happy hour in front of the owner of the company, in front of the CEO, trashing how you've been utilized within the company. You would be fired from said company. So it's not the same thing.
It's not. How do you feel about this, though? I know we talked a lot about Patullo, Jalen, right? And AJ has forced Jalen to have a part in this, basically. Like, even if Jalen doesn't say anything, he's forced to have a part in it. And obviously, the other side of this conversation is, you know, when Jalen is asked these questions, he'll be asked about the rant on Twitch, I'm sure, even though he really shouldn't be. It's not him that did it. But he will be, and he'll deflect or use some, you know, some analogy that doesn't really correlate, or, you know, any way to kind of get past that without the drama. How much is on him, man? How much of this is on him not getting AJ the targets, whatever the case may be? Like, we see that shot at the end of the game. That's what comes to mind, right? Like, we need to get AJ the ball before this game ends.
Right, and you, like, the reports that, you know,
Jalen and AJ.
They went off script like they did in Seattle, and again, it didn't work. And who knows if that's true, right? They fell on the sword. They didn't try to draw them off sides. Like, they did look like they were running a play. So
they looked like they were running a play.
I'm confused as to how.
I was ripping my hair out, but they looked like they were running a play. And when they threw it deep,
right,
I might have ripped
it didn't look like Nick. It didn't seem like Nick said, get to the line and try to draw them off and take a delay a game. It seemed like they got to the line with a purpose. They got there late out of the huddle. They ran the play. So all of that rumor, speculation, that was weird to me. I don't know which side to believe, to be honest, because they have done it before, apparently. But look, Jalen has missed AJ. Jalen has missed other open receivers. Every quarterback misses open receivers, stars or role players in the past. It sucks because it elevates this conversation even higher when people can take screenshots and say, well, look, he has a reason to be pissed.
Yeah.
Guys, we all know he has a reason to be pissed. Again, none of it. So when it comes to like Jalen and the blend, whatever, how much it still doesn't matter because he's missed them. And AJ hasn't put in 100% on certain routes and certain other stuff in the last couple of weeks. There's blame to be thrown around everywhere. The problem is the principle and with how you're with how you're handling things. And the icing on the cake is, well, you won the goddamn football game again.
Yeah.
You're 7-2. And I'm focused on a first place battle with Detroit on Sunday Night Football. And instead of that, everyone's going to be answering questions about this because of something the captain said. With that said, unless you have anything else, I know I'm yelling. Let's get to the positives. Let's get to the happiness.
It was, it is like, just once again, to be clear, man, it is frustrating when you think about AJ Brown because what do you think? Like, if he was in any other offense in the NFL, like, just thinking around the offenses around the NFL, any offense could get him the ball more than what we do. Absolutely. And it's like, it is perplexing. It's ridiculous.
Can I ask you
about
something?
It throughout the entire games.
But I think that's the point where everyone knows he's right. Because, Scotty, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't think it matters if Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson was in his spot right now.
Yeah.
I simply think that's how the offense is being ran. You mentioned the 3 seatbelts, the safety belts for this game, how conservative they were, how they played the route concepts. It's something we talked about for the first 5 weeks of the season, the route trees and everything. It's a disaster.
Yeah, simply
put. Winning football games.
Yeah, simply put.
And again, like, I know people are going to be like, oh, isn't that very similar to 2023? Oh, they keep winning football games, but we see all these red flags. No, because they had the 31st or 32nd ranked defense in the National Football League that year.
Right.
And the defense that I saw in Lambeau,
Super Bowl ready.
They're gonna win. They can win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They can win a Super Bowl on their own potentially.
Yeah,
so
and I do think
the difference.
I do think, like, giving some credit to Green Bay and their defense as well, like, on the other side of things. Like, yes, it was frustrating. Yes, we played conservative. Jalen Hurts had a turnover on the first drive where you drive down the field 70 yards.
Minutes taken off the clock.
Yeah, take 10, 11 minutes off the goddamn clock. It is the Green Bay Packers. They do have, a top 5, top 3-ish type of defense. Right. I mean, they don't give up big plays, which is what we kind of like live off from time to time down the field. Obviously, AJ big deep throws. I was about to say some really suspect shit.
Oh,
but
no, the last thing to kind of link the AJ conversation and what's wrong with the offense to make it known that AJ is right for that sense is because it goes deeper than just AJ Brown not being involved. This offense leads the league in 3 and outs.
3 and outs, yeah.
I don't care who's on this offense with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and Saquon Barkley and Dallas Goedert and Tank Bigsby and Jahan. This offense leads the league in 3 and outs.
Yeah.
So that's how you know there is a fundamental issue. The third, the 3rd and 10, the 3rd and 12, the 3rd and 14 handoffs over and over and over again, just so we can punt. Man. Yeah. You and I talked about in the pregame. It's one thing for Jalen to be concerned, giving him the opportunity to throw the ball, but him not forcing anything into a turnover. Yeah. It's completely different when it's the offensive philosophy to just hand the ball off and punt the ball away.
Yeah, so
that's
frustrating.
Scary.
Yeah, and I would say the discipline as well, man. That offensive line. It kind of falls into what we're talking. We're talking about coaching and discipline and timeliness. Them getting up to the line of scrimmage with time to get the fucking play off.
3 penalties.
How many penalties? Landon Dickerson. I see him, grabbing his face mask 3 times after he gets a false start or whatever. It's just come on, man. We got to stop this. Jordan Mailata jumping, false start, pointing to the defensive line. No, you jumped over. Yeah. And to be fair to all the people, it is tiring seeing the people complain about the false starts.
Yeah.
There were false starts there, and they did do that. And I only say that to hold those guys accountable because it should have been more penalties. You should have cost us more in this game if they call the game correctly. Mm-hmm. So it's a whole, you can just see it across the board. It's coaching. For me, it's who does it fall on? Is it Sirianni coaching or is that all Patullo? Because timeliness, discipline, things like that, that's not all Patullo, right? Some of that is on the player manager of Nick Sirianni.
Frustrating part too, because that's also Jeff Stoutland, and that Stoutland, this has been the unit that's been the unit that's just been rock solid.
Yeah,
for decades.
What we've leaned on, and they're fucking up.
Yeah. So it is, and obviously you don't have Cam in this game. You get Toth. Lane gets hurt again.
Lane gets hurt.
There's a lot of movement.
Gotta be fair to that.
This year instead of Becton, which has obviously been a concern. So
Lane tough as hell, by the way.
But it is frustrating, man. But with all that said, they did win the football game. Saquon had a ridiculous catch and run on 3rd down, which then 10 seconds later translated to a beautiful throw and catch in the end zone to Smitty that ultimately gives them the win in this game. The story, obviously, I'm not breaking ground here, guys. I'm not breaking news. It's the defense. Okay, this defense was fucking phenomenal from the jump in this game. Obviously, it's somewhat frustrating when as soon as the Eagles score a touchdown, it's Vic takes his foot off the gas for a second and they immediately go down and
knew it was coming.
That part is so weird to me. But all in all, forced 2 turnovers, 2 fumbles, obviously. The 4th down stop, Jalen Phillips. And this defensive line went from a point of weakness to, my God, Nakobe Dean looks great. Zach Bond, Jahad Campbell looks great. This defense is arguably the best defense in football again. And this performance just went out and kind of solidified my opinion on some of these, on the Jalen Phillips edition, at least specifically. But it was a clinic, man.
No, I agree. And it was funny, man. You look at how they scored right after we scored. And, I was thinking about that during the game. If it's a tough game like that, we score off a big play, right, to Devontae Smith. Packers come out immediately. They're going to come out with urgency as an offense. They know they need to score as well, and they did take more risks on that drive in order to score in a two-possession game. So when you start to think about it, it does make sense from both sides, but you just hate to see it, right? But no, I think you hit the nail on the head. This team is going to be able to dominate with their front seven at this point. I mean, just looking at Jalen Phillips on the defensive line, he's just
Jalen Hunt, dude.
He's humongous. I mean, Jalen Phillips is just humongous, man. I mean, he looks like Jordan Davis. He looks like Jalen Carter on that defensive line. And I think that was the most fun part for me, was watching Jalen Carter have like the most fun that he's had all season. I think it's just going to make his life easier having a guy like that on the outside. You mentioned it, Jalen Hunt. Nolan Smith comes back, gets a sack in this game.
Moro Ajomo calls out basically the game-winning
play. Out there calling plays out, dominating the middle, gives us that 3 rotation inside that is just working beautifully. BG gets some running here. Nakobe Dean, it just dog, he just come back and like made himself the leader. I didn't know if he would be able to. I'll be transparent. I didn't know that he could come back and be this good, this fast, to the point where
it's like nothing changed.
I can't even complain about Jahad Campbell and his like snaps, because Nakobe Dean is like the leader in the middle of this defense, man. The only thing that I'll throw in there, the Jair Alexander, excuse me. God, what the fuck?
Dude, like, I don't know, man. I don't
Jair
know.
Alexander, like, we got so excited and then
it's
retired.
It's the weirdest thing. Like,
I did want to say one thing. Dory Jackson was a lot better in this game, though.
Somehow, yeah, but he was playing against you and me out there, because you know how I like to take a jab at those Packers receivers, which is like, again, I know. Tucker Kraft out for the year. Matthew Golden didn't play in this one, the explosive rookie. Like, I know that they were missing pieces that they've had all year long, but like the way that people do talk about this Packers offense, like, the fuck are we doing, dude?
They threw it to Bo Melton on a needed 4th down. I'm like, who the fuck is Bo Melton, motherfucker?
No idea who that was, dude.
No Melton, motherfucker.
Literally had no idea. So, no, Adoree Jackson, I'm just poking fun a little bit. Adoree Jackson did look a lot better.
It was
he
against.
He actually finished a couple tackles as well.
Mediocre comp, though.
Forgot he could even wrap up and get anyone to the ground at this point. But yeah, the defense from top to bottom. Q got nicked up again in this game, which I feel like this is like the 3rd or 4th game this year where he's had to come out and deal with something lower body. So keep an eye on that, especially with the Jair Alexander news. No, cannot have anything serious happen there.
Did he get re-injured? That's what it has to be, right? Like, that's the only way you come to this conclusion.
I would assume so. Yeah. Oh, you mean Jair?
Yeah, Jair Alexander. Yeah.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. He came out and said he's stepping away to take time for his mental and his physical and see what his next steps are. And it's just like so odd to me, because like one of my talking points was that the dude is younger than when Darius Slay first signed here.
Yeah.
You're a DB, so it's I don't know. I don't want to step out of line and speak wrong here, but I would assume
I know what you mean. I know what you're saying.
A crazy history of like head contact.
They're not in the trenches.
Worried about anything like that. I don't know, man. Like just the way that he wasn't used. He was a bunch of DNPs in Baltimore. Gets traded here, but then why like suit up for practice this past week and interview with reporters
and look so excited?
Yeah. Like, I don't know, like
maybe it was that though.
You grew up an Eagles fan. Like your family's excited for you to play here.
Yeah.
Very odd. It sucks. Because I was excited. Like it was Jalen Phillips, Jair, Michael Carter. That was my excitement level for the new guys. And now
I don't think we
get the middle pole taken out from us. So
I don't think we saw Michael Carter either.
I don't
remember seeing him. I remember seeing Keeley before I saw him, but no, it is perplexing, man. And maybe, who knows? Maybe it was the DMP that blew him. Maybe he thought he was gonna play this weekend, and he got the DMP.
No, because I don't even think he traveled. Like this was probably a conversation they had before the weekend with the team. Like that this was going to be the move for him.
Like, do we get our draft pick back? You know what I mean? Like,
well, I saw
so
like it's not like he retired. So like he's still an Eagle. Like I saw we just listed him as like I forget
like
what we
went on the reserve retired.
Yeah, like list, some designation we gave him. So like he technically is a Philadelphia Eagle, I believe. If he changes his mind in 3 weeks, like I think we elevate. Like I think that's how it would work.
Which hopefully that's the case, right? That's what you have to hope. But.
Yeah, but very odd nonetheless. Just they win a humongous game in Lambeau, and I feel like it's a fucking circus surrounding what we have to talk about.
It's so annoying. Yeah, it's annoying for that standpoint, right? It's just too like drama story for no reason.
Can I say something? Because like obviously I'm going away to the Poconos tomorrow. You're going to the game Sunday. We'll try to like we won't have a pregame show or anything.
Yeah.
It's making me, in a weird way, it's making me that much more amped up for Sunday night. Because now it's like, all right, there's all this talk. You and I are doing it. Like it's not like, oh, it's the national. Like I'm furious with what's going on right now.
Yeah,
me. So go shut me the fuck. Like let this offense take it to another level, like they did against Minnesota and the Giants, and beat up the Detroit Lions this Sunday night. Let this defense dominate that offense on Sunday. Like get into another tough battle. You beat the Packers and the Lions back-to-back weeks, get to 8-2, take over the number 1 seed right now. Man, it's full steam ahead. Like AJ can have 2 catches. He can continue playing. I'm rolling to another Lombardi, man. So like it's getting me more juiced up for Sunday night.
I feel it, man. It's almost like it's almost like having, a loss before a big game, right? To give you a little bit of motivation going into that next game. You won't go into that next game asleep. The offense coming out, scoring 10 points out of a bye week. You're supposed to have it together. You thought you were getting it together out of the, games against Minnesota and New York. And you go into this game against a prolific offense, and it's like the comment I saw in here earlier, right? Are you going to be able to win against Detroit with 10 points? And, everybody's freaking out. Are the Eagles' offense going to be able to score more than 10? Yeah, they're going to come out. They're going to score 30-plus this weekend, man. I honestly believe it. I really do believe they're going to come out, and they're going to put the work to the Lions, bro. That's probably the only thing that could have motivated them more would be to lose. Right? Like it would be to lose against Green Bay at Lambeau. You scored 10 points, you may as well have lost. Right? Like from the offensive standpoint.
From a mentality.
From a defensive standpoint, you're on top right now. You're confident. You're rolling.
That defense would have been pissed if they came away with a loss, man.
I mean, I would have been. I would have been pissed if we lose in a game.
McManus drilled that 64-yarder, which, by the way, we didn't even address. That was like the worst like ending, anticlimactic. Like if you're not an Eagles fan, like if you weren't watching that because
the first one was closer. The test attempt.
If you sat here for this Sunday night game, 0-0 at halftime, conservative, and then oh my God, we might get 10-10 overtime with all this drama. And that was the kick as time expired. I mean, that was I thought it got blocked at first. And then I was like, oh no,
it was horrible.
So
fucking horrible.
Never had it. Brandon McManus never had a chance there.
Packers are a funny group, man. Jordan Love is a funny motherfucker, yo. That fumble at the end, he's a goofy guy. And I think those fumbles in that game, they kind of like Jalen, very, out of ordinary, right? For him to fumble the football, turn the football over in general. But he goes out. It was a great play by the defender to come in and punch that ball as his arm is going down. Jordan Love out there trying to make a play, jiggle around. He's got three rushers around him about to sack the shit out of him.
At the end of the half.
To Josh Jacobs. It's just like, what are you doing?
But that's my point. Like when
it
comes to that team, like that offense, I guess I should say, his decision-making, what can go wrong, will go wrong. Very Cowboy-like when it comes to Jordan Love. Like, he's just going to give you the football in the most unforgiving way if you're a Packer or Packers fan. It's going to bite you in the ass, and it did again. But Matt LaFleur, too, man. Like, that's the funny thing. Like, all right, Mario Jomo made a great play, called it out, beat up the line. They get the fumble. Phillips recovers. There's a crazy ending. Crazy play that almost ended it, right?
Yeah.
Like you ran the ball on 4th and 2 in that spot. Like, I don't know. Like, we would be furious if it was really like 4th and 3. It was a
Especially
long 2 yards.
If the defensive line is calling the play out, which has happened. It has happened to us, and we were pissed. So, no, man, let me ask you this. I don't know if you have anything else on this game before we move to the Sixers. Let me ask you this. The Jalen Phillips acquisition for me was enough to kind of cancel out the Jair Alexander, not playing. Like Jalen Phillips was better than expected. Is it like that for you?
Yeah. I mean, he was everything you could have asked for, man, because like here was some of the difference. This Eagles defensive front without Jalen Phillips, with Nolan Smith hurt, with no BG, right? Missing a bunch of guys. Yeah, the numbers statistically it wasn't there, and it was hurting us.
Yeah.
But they were getting close. Like they were close to the quarterback week in, week out. Josh Uche constantly around the quarterback, just couldn't get home, right?
Yeah.
Jalen Phillips just flipped all of that on its head because Jalen Phillips came in and immediately started getting a paw on Jordan Love. And then what did that do, man? That opened up Jalix Hunt's coming free. Jalen Carter's having fun. Like, not just how dominant he looked, how much of a bully he was on the end of the line around the football. Dude, there was the one tackle he made on Josh Jacobs where he just shed a block and just launched his body towards the gap and wrapped up Josh Jacobs and brought him down for a gain of 2. Like,
with one
constantly
arm,
finding the ball, bullying the offensive line. And when you bring a force like that, man, next to Jalen Carter, it's going to change a lot for this team.
Yeah.
So with that said, ugly win. The AJ noise, Jair weirdness, clown show going on surrounding the win. We move forward. They have now beaten the Chiefs, the Bucks, the Rams, the Packers, the Cowboys. They get another test this Sunday with the Lions, and I think they'll continue to show that they are the best team in the league, regardless of the drama, regardless of the questions we have about the offense at times. I say it's funny, man. I was going to send it to you, and then I was like, because like sometimes I see these clips and I click on a TikTok page, and it's like these dudes that have 58,000 followers on a podcast, and they're saying something ludicrous. Yeah. This was kind of like us. They were smaller, so I didn't want to like tease them. I didn't want to say anything to you, but like they were discussing threats in the NFC, and they said, "Oh, the Rams," and they were like, "Yeah," which I would agree we're a threat, right?
Yeah.
Two of the dudes started going on how the Rams have had the Eagles' number the last 2 years. I'll send it to you. I swear to God. And then like the comments are just flooded with my exact initial thought, and you're like, brother. Like, what? If you mean like closest test, sure, I can give you closest test to the Eagles last 2 years.
Yeah.
Having their number would insinuate they can win a football game against the Eagles. They're 0-3 over the last 2 years. They're 0-4 McVay's never beaten Nick Sirianni.
Yeah.
Got their number though. So I only bring that up because it's like it just feeds into the delusion that everybody has about these other little teams that are very good. Very good. You got to beat the best to be the best, brother. And right now, no one is doing that. So
so interesting.
Continue.
Rams are playing good for sure, but that's crazy. That's crazy.
I mean, we were wrong. Beat the shit out of the Niners in Santa Clara. We were wrong about that.
Yeah.
I thought the Niners would cover that game. Rams were up by 2 scores most of it. So
they took care of business for sure. To be fair, they do look better than what they did last year. Yeah, I think that's fair to say. So we'll see. It'll be a tough test, but I mean, I just think it's ludicrous to name the Rams and not name the Eagles. I mean, the Eagles have beat the Rams already this year, to your point, but
right. And the Eagles have beaten the Packers. The Eagles have beaten the Packers 4 straight times and 3 times in the last 2 years. And it's what are you going to say? The Packers are the biggest threat to the Eagles? Like it doesn't make any sense. Like the one I would throw out there would be like the Lions before this week because they're the biggest unknown, right? Like we haven't matched up with the Lions since week 1 of Jalen and AJ's first year together in 2022, I believe. So like. Then you can be like, all right, well, we don't have any recent tape. Like, we don't know what this matchup is going to look like. The others, 0-3.
Yeah.
0-3. 0-2. And it's like, man, at what point are wins and losses really going to start to matter to you guys?
This Lions game is interesting. Obviously, we'll get it. Well, we won't get into it this week. I'll be at the game. You'll be at the Poconos, like you said. But we'll have turf talk later. Maybe get into it a little bit more there. It's different from the other matchups because of their skill position players, right? They have really good skill position players, obviously, and I'm interested to see what our defense can do against them because to the point of the chat, it isn't a game where you can come out and score 10 and win. You know that, right? You know that going into it. There's no reason they shouldn't score more than that against Detroit, especially. But no, it is interesting how the league's playing out this year. It is it's like the NFC is the stronger conference, but it's like, is it? You know what I mean?
I think so.
When you line the teams up, but I guess it's just the Chiefs. Maybe the Bills in the AFC. I mean, that's for another show, but
to Martian's question, let me just check real quick. Have the Lions played a defense as good as ours this year? No. I mean, they played the Packers back in week 1. The Packers slaughtered them in Lambeau. They played the Vikings a couple weeks ago. They lost 27-24. They lost to the Chiefs 30-17.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, the Browns have a good defense, but it's the Browns, so that doesn't really equate. So, I mean, the Vikings, Packers, and Chiefs, they've all lost to when they've played them. So, it'll be interesting.
We all beat.
That's a good point. Interesting point you make there.
3-0 against the team. But got to take care of business this weekend for sure.
All right, man. Let's transition now.
Let's talk some six.
Over to some Sixers. Some
76s.
Justin Edwards. Tanned up. I think you or I and both of us have probably said like last week, like, man, I don't need to see Justin Edwards in this rotation. I don't need to see it. Well, guess what, boys and girls? If it wasn't for Justin Edwards last night, the Sixers would have lost 2 straight again and lost 4 of their last 5. And 5 of their last 6 at that point. They come away with a big 102-100 victory at home against the Celtics. They're now 2-1 against Boston on the year. They don't play them for the 4th and final time till like March, I believe. So the scheduling on that is pretty insane to me, but nonetheless, big win. This team just continues to find themselves in rock fights, man. Like we just mentioned with the Eagles, and Nick Nurse alluded to it. He's like, I know we don't have like the numbers on it, but I think they said so. That was what, game number 11?
Yeah,
or 7-4. So through 11 games, I think they said 9 of them have basically come down to the final horn.
Yeah,
which is absolutely insane.
Crazy. Yeah, it's crazy for sure.
So what do you, let's start there. What do you think of that? Because obviously at some point you want to start to separate yourself, right? We don't want to have a heart attack every single night watching the Sixers team. But in terms of building, not just chemistry, but just building hope and a connection for the future, winning these close, gritty, grinded out games, hitting big shots or coming up with big defensive stands as a unit at the end of games, I feel like that can build to something. I don't want to use the word like special, right? Alluding to like championship, but that can build to playoff atmosphere level when you get there as a unit this year to where, okay, we can lean back against each other and say, look, we've come away with this. We've come out of here. We've escaped this. So it's like, can that lead to something positive for the Sixers, even though it's very nerve-wracking?
Yeah, I think so, man. I think when you look at this Sixers team, and it was funny, like I've had a lot of time to think about how the weekend went with the back-to-back and then obviously last night's game, but you hit the nail on the head. A lot of these games have been close. These are all learning situations. I think the big thing, man, is thinking back to last season and the amount of games that they lost. When you lose that many games as an organization, you have to relearn how to win. And I think that's what they're going through right now is like these tough situations at the end of games. I think the third quarter issue is very apparent and obvious. It's when you're coming out of the break, the other team makes adjustments. Maybe your adjustments don't work, whatever the case may be. Maybe the adjustments aren't made. I do think a lot of that is on Coach Nurse and getting that figured out. The other thing is, those late game situations that you mentioned, while some of them have been horrific and a lot of one-on-one ball, which you got to iron that out. That's once again a Nick Nurse issue for my money. They do get to learn in these situations. Who do you want taking these shots? Who do you want with the ball in their hands? And that's obviously going to be great learning experiences for these guys. But yeah, I think a win is a win, like we've been saying with the Eagles, and that goes for the Sixers team as well, man, each and every night. But yeah, I think the big thing is just getting better each and every night. I think what we have seen so far, right? This is what I wrote down. What we've seen so far is like this team has depth, obviously. Justin Edwards goes out, leads the team in scoring last night, puts the team on his back, goes 8 for 9 from the field, 5 for 6 from the three-point line, right? They have depth. Jabari Walker against the Pistons, I think it was. He comes out and has 12 points, hits 2 threes in that game, gets us started in that game really well. The game before that's a triple-double from Trendon Watford getting his first start. So you got depth.
Yeah.
The problem, or it's not a problem. It's just you need to figure it out, right? I guess it is a problem. If you need to figure it out, it's a problem.
Consistency from
consistency. Who's going to be the guy that does it every game?
Close.
Because we can't sit here and like pick through the litter, right? Each game and like, is Justin Edwards feeling it tonight? Is Jabari Walker feeling it tonight?
Because we've had that in the past, right?
Solidify their roles. Yeah.
Because we've had a Buddy Hield game, and we've had a Nicholas Batum
exactly.
game. We've had a Shake Mill. We've had
and
games
where too much faith in those guys.
Yeah, we've had games where those guys have come in and given a spurt, and we end up winning. But then the next night, they're nowhere near the same player as they were the night before. And now the coach has to go around and find what's going to work tonight. This is one of the craziest things, the biggest storyline of the season so far, man. Yeah. Look, the fourth quarter being as good as it's been this year is a very, very big positive. That is a great thing.
It is.
But the third quarter is so goddamn head-scratching. Man, it's every night.
It is.
Like it's not like they played 11 games and like 5 of them they've done this. It is every night. The punchline gets told to the same joke. They come out of half, no matter what they look like in the first half, whether they score 75 at halftime or they're up by 10 at halftime, it does not matter.
Bro.
That third quarter, they are going to turn the ball over. They're going to shoot like shit. They're going to be disconnected. And the other team's going to go on a run, and bing, bang, boom, they're trailing by 7, or they're in a tie game when they were up by 15. It never fails, man. That's why honestly, what we just talked about, that's why these games are coming down to the buzzer.
Yeah.
Because you're allowing teams to come back down double digits in the third quarter.
Yeah. The last 2 games specifically, man, obviously it's been happening the whole season, but you mentioned it. They've had 10-point leads at the halftime mark of both of these games against the Pistons and the Celtics. Pistons, number 1 team in the East right now, by the way. In the third quarter, between these 2 games, they were scored 70 to 41 between the 2 third quarters in these 2 games.
And don't forget the Bulls game, where they scored 75 at half.
Yeah. Scored like 34 in the second half. So yeah, it's been all season. But I mean, these last 2 games are glowing examples. If you just have a decent, even third quarter, you win the game by double digits. Exactly. I mean, I know that that's not how it plays out, right? You get to the fourth quarter.
Exactly.
It plays out differently, but you get we're on the same page. You get my point.
The fourth quarter numbers would lead you to believe, well, like you said, if they did just do X, Y, and Z in the third quarter, or limit the damage, right? Like maybe
it's 5, not 24.
Right. Right.
So we were outscored 36 to 20 last night in the third quarter.
Yeah. It's a great comment by TR talking about running an offense in the final possession or final minute of a game, and how timing can get off so quickly. So it is fair, but you did bring up an interesting point, kind of, the end of game guys and figuring that out. And it's been a positive and negative to me. Like, yes, you have had, Quentin Grimes has hit game winners so far.
Yeah.
You've had different guys step up, right? Last night it was Justin Edwards taking the last shot. Oubre gets the offensive putback. Different guys have made different shots for this team. We've seen Maxey do it in the postseason. We've seen Joel do it. So it is nice to know you have options to go to. But what I will say, and what was a little bit concerning down the stretch last night, and this is where I think people get overreactive when Joel Embiid's on the floor and the offense starts to get stagnant, because as we've seen over the last couple of games without him on the floor, they do the same thing. It's just in Tyrese Maxey's hand. The end of last night was not slipping away because we came back towards the end of the fourth quarter. But then when it was a tie game or a 2-point game, it was Tyrese Maxey isolation. And look, I love the aggressiveness. And he should get a better whistle. And I think he got at least a call down the stretch or something. But in that second half, in that fourth quarter, Tyrese Maxey went at the rim over and over and over again. And I can count on maybe 2 floaters or 2 layups that fell in the net last night. That's just not how I want the offense ran. The Embiid Maxey ending in Chicago, where it's just iso ball, one of them. That shit is so frustrating to me because, in reality, you would want your best player to take the shot. You would want him to have the ball in his hands, but it can't stick the way it does. It becomes too simplified. The shot becomes too difficult at the end of the shot clock. So it's like a balance of, okay, well, would I rather pass to Justin Edwards or pass to Quentin Grimes and hope they make the shot? Or would I hope the number one option on the floor can create? And you've seen both happen, but
yeah, exactly. To that point, they did. I mean, at the end of the game last night, Maxey passes it to Justin Edwards for that go-ahead 3, and he misses it. Kelly's in the right place at the right time. So I guess to that point, they are trying different things, learning different things. I think that's what it is, man. You know, it's easy when the season starts. We're so excited, especially the way they start the season with a win in Boston, man. And VJ's playing lights out. We haven't even talked about VJ, I know, but he's playing lights out to start the season, and you start to forget this is an 82 game season. It's like the MLB, right? When we're talking about the Phillies in July, it's like we gotta hone it in, bring it back, put it in perspective, right? This team had 60 losses last year, some shit. They got to learn how to win again. They are keeping a winning record while doing so, and I think it is only going to get better. What is up with Jared McCain? I'm curious with that. Obviously, we want to know when Paul George is going to return. Joel Embiid, good news on him this morning. I think with nothing in that other knee, nothing actually structurally wrong. There's a few things to figure out with this team. How are we feeling about VJ, man?
I'm fine. I'm still where I'm at when we had the last conversation with Pumper. If anything, I think he did some positive stuff on this side that you and I were not concerned with, but saying if there was anything to question, it would be his size and his defensive capability when that was the talking point at the draft. Last night, the huge block. He made a couple plays on Derek White.
Even the 3 that bounced in, I know he was 2 for 11. He only hit 2 shots last night. They were both threes, but in the fourth quarter, the confidence to shoot it, it gets a lucky roll.
And that's a trait that not a lot of
rookies,
young players have. Right? You have the confidence to keep shooting, the trust in his teammates to keep shooting. So that is going to be big as we move forward. I mean, 2 for 11. It was bad last night, but he hit 2 threes. Just continue to grow on both sides of the floor. I feel like because of how he opened up the season, people have this diluted idea of who he is supposed to be right now. When we drafted him, we were okay, can he just be a role guy in between all of this talent and these 3 stars and so on and so forth? And he exploded onto the scene with being one of the stars. And now every time he doesn't put up big numbers, people are like, oh, well, he's fallen off already and the honeymoon phase is over. And that's just not the goddamn case.
So ridiculous.
But man, I know we got to get off of here. The Jared McCain point, man.
Yeah.
He hasn't played more than 9 minutes in a game. I think he's played 7, 9, and 9. The thing I would say for me, just trying to get him involved in how he's being used or getting the ball to him, hasn't hit a shot yet. He's 0 for 9, but only 2 of the 9 have been from 3.
Yeah.
And that's the Jared McCain I know and love. That's the Jared
McCain. What
we
want him to do, shoot
that
the 3.
Will fit so well next to Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. So let's start to get McCain some corner looks or some wing looks.
Can he get some looks drawn up for him?
Yeah,
get him in rhythm.
Yeah.
You know, he hasn't been able to score yet, and I think seeing the ball go through the net could work wonders.
Right, which theoretically, when you say something like that, you would think, oh, well, a layup or a free throw can get the ball through the net.
Right.
But it's not like he's 0 for 9 from 3 and needs to get into the
Right.
basket.
Right.
He's 0 for 2 from 3 in 3 games. Like, that's a guy that we're hoping is going to be like a 6+ attempt kind of guy on a night-to-night basis. So, yeah, they got to start drawing up some looks or getting him the ball in space.
That is the other side of the VJ conversation as well. Once Jared McCain gets going, you can take a little bit to a lot off of VJ.
Absolutely.
And his legs. He looks tired right now, man. He looks like a rookie who's going through some growing pains right now.
40+ minutes a night.
Yeah, exactly. Leading the league along with Maxey. So, yeah, I have no worries for the kid, man. You get a little bit of rest until I think they play again either Friday or Saturday. And then they they don't play again until that following Wednesday, which is another back-to-back, but still.
Right. Of course. Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Like, thanks so much for the double rest, guys. But here's your back-to-back. 17th back-to-back of the season. Like, I don't know.
And the teams that they make us play on the tail end, the Pistons and the Cavs so far, man, it's really
right. It's not the other way around. Right, it's not flipped to the bad team.
Do we want marquee matchups or not? You know, that's interesting.
It's very annoying, but nonetheless, guys, that is going to do it for this Wednesday edition of the Phaithful Phanatics Show. We will be live back with you later on the NFL Turf Talk channel, breaking down the Week 10 slate, talking Week 11, talking Eagles Lions later on tonight. Subscribe, follow us on Twitter at DSM_media, and enjoy the rest of your day and the rest of your weekend. Peace out, everybody.
Peace, everybody. Go Birds.